So here we are, about 112 yards out. It's important the distance because I hit my full 54 degrees about 110 yards. This pin is just on a little ridge. If I come up short, it's going to spin down, be about 50, 60 feet away, a disappointing shot. So this is a tricky shot because I've got my pitching wedge, which I hit about 125 to 130 yards. So I'm going to have to take some off of this. But this is, when things become a little bit tougher. You're always trying to lay up to a good yardage, a full shot, but sometimes that doesn't happen and you get into these in-between yardages. Now, I've got this pitching wedge here, but in a way it's going to help me because of the pin position. I want the ball to go by the pin and not spin too much, because if it spins too much, it's going to catch that ridge and come back down the hill. So this is, again, an area that I go and practice quite a lot. I'll go to the range, really set up difficult distances. I think it's important to practice shots that you aren't comfortable with sometimes. It's easy to go to your full shots, exactly how far you hit it, and just swing away. This is an awkward distance for me, so I'll go practice those specifically when I get into these kind of situations. Now again, the shot is just the same. I'm just going to have a little bit of a shorter swing to take off a few yards, maybe grip down the club a little bit. That will get the ball coming in a little bit lower, take some of the spin off it. And I'm really just concentrating on the distance I'm trying to hit this ball. So that was perfect, just pitched right by the pin. It took one little hop, went about 6 feet past the hole, but it wasn't spinning down that hill. If I tried to force the sand wedge, maybe it pitched by the hole, but it would have had spin on it, would have caught that slope and gone about 30 feet away, and I would have been disappointed. So, again, if you want to get better, really practice those tough shots, those tough yardages. Don't feel too comfortable when you're practicing. When you get into that ugly zone, that's when you really improve. Let me try and hit just one more. 112 yards, just gripping down it a little bit. Bit of a shorter swing. And that's giving myself a good opportunity to make some birdies. So here's a situation. We have a front pin. I've tried to get really quite aggressive and challenge that front pin, but I've come up a club short, and I'm about 10 yards off the front edge of the green. I don't have a lot of green to work with, so the shot I always choose here, really, no matter what, is the 60-degree lob wedge. I like to loft it onto the green, have it roll out just a couple feet. I feel like that gives me the best opportunity to make this shot, and the way I do that is mostly in setup. Most amateurs tend to get the ball way too far back in the stance with the club sort of leaning forward too much, and that exposes the front edge. The most important thing about this shot is using the back edge, the bounce, and that will help get the ball up nice and softly and come out just rolling just a little bit and give you a good chance of making this. Now the way you do that is obviously get the ball position a lot more forward, almost off my front foot, and I'm really making sure when I take my swing, the club and the toe is staying up, it's nice and open, it's coming through and it's staying open as it goes through as well. The left hand sort of fold nicely by my left pocket, and the ball should just loft up and finish pretty close to the hole. Let's try and hit one. So there you go. That was a little bit hard, a little bit clumsy. I hit that 4 or 5 feet by, but that was the right kind of shot. I had a chance to go in. It wasn't getting away from me too much. And, I'd like to expect to get it a little bit closer, but that wasn't a bad effort. Let's try and get it a little bit closer. So obviously that's a tap in. I'm going to get up and down. That's the goal. To always get up and down, not waste shots around the greens. That's where you can really lower your handicap and become one of the best players in the world. I try not to hit too many shots in a row. So, sometimes we use rings, 3-foot rings that, a 6-foot diameter, so it's 3 foot around the hole. You know, and once I've got 5 shots into that ring, and I've given myself maybe some chances to make some of those, then I'll move on to the next shot. That's always the goal, to try and hole it. I think, you know, if you focus on something a little bit more specific, it becomes a lot easier. If you try and just think, oh, if I can get it around the hole to 5 or 6 feet, you know, it's not really focusing your mind properly. You know, the more you focus on something a little bit smaller, you know, even look at a particular part of the hole, you know, be even more specific and see it going in the left edge or the right edge, you know, and the more specific you can be, the more it switches on your brain. So here we are, where I'm in a situation where I've kind of short-sighted myself. I'm in the rough, I've got a bunker in between me, and I've got to get the ball up really high and come down soft. Now this might be like par 5, where I've gone for it in 2 and I've just missed it on the wrong side. I've left myself a tricky shot, so I'm going to have to hit this with a big long full swing, really open up the blade, get the ball position nice and forward, and we'll get the ball to stop by getting it coming down vertically and coming down softly. You know, you're not going to be able to create spin out of rough, but you are be able to get nicely underneath it and make it come down nice and soft. So to do that, yeah, so you want the ball nice and forward, club really open, a big long lazy swing, and this is something you just kind of practice and kind of get a feel for, to feel how the club is going to go through. It's going to really come underneath the ball, graze the ball's going to go nice and high and come down nice and softly. So let's give it a try. Ball forward, club open a little bit. That's not what to do. So we'll try that again. That wasn't very good, but get the ball nice and forward, nice long lazy swing. Ball goes up in the air, comes down nice and softly about 3 feet away. Obviously I was just playing with that first one. That wasn't really me. That was just showing you what not to do. It's fine to make mistakes as long as you commit to every shot. You know, we are going to make mistakes, but as long as you commit to every shot, then it doesn't matter so much. You know, the problem when you get indecisive about what kind of shot you want to hit, whether to hit, you know, one that's a half swing or a full swing. You know, commit to it and hit it. And if you mess up, you mess up. You know, go find the next one and try and get up and down. The crowd are probably thinking, well, who is this guy? You know, what a terrible shot. And I think sometimes the crowd actually sympathize with you, because they feel like you're more human, that you make mistakes as well. And we do make mistakes sometimes. And, you know, the ability to recover is what separates us. Obviously, you know, you feel a bit annoyed at yourself, you feel a bit embarrassed, but that's okay. You go find the next shot and try and get up and down. That first shot was terrible. I mean, it's put me in an even worse situation than I'm already in. You know, get mad for a minute and then let it go. You know, time to move on. You can't bring that motion to the next shot. You know, every shot is separate. You know, it shouldn't have any relevance to the next shot, so don't let it interfere. I think, you know, 6 or 7 times when I made a bogey or worse, I came back and made a birdie on the very next hole. So, you know, it's kind of an important stat to know that you're able to really put that negative stuff behind you and just keep going on. Yeah, let's try this again. See if we can get it inside that second ball. There we go, just a couple feet away, and you know, that's something you just got to keep trying to practice. You know, it's a feel shot. You want that long lazy shot, swing, and you know, it's a good shot to have. I think you know, it's nice to be able to see the ball come down. It takes a little bit of courage to swing that long and lazy, but it's a shot that's kind of fun, and the crowd love it.